My love of music started when I was small. My mother always had something around the house jamming. While she did her thing, she was cooking. She played certain music. If she was cleaning, she had a custom selection for that as well. I could hear a song on the radio and remember the lyrics instantly. To me, it was like a gift. I remember being a diehard fan of groups, Jodeci, NWA, Ghetto Boys, and a few others, like Pac, of course, and Slick Rick. I even love R. Kelly music. When I was like 8 or 9, you could hear me all the time, rapping the music I heard, going word for word along with the artist. My uncle used to joke that when I was a shorty, even the first words he heard me say sound like a rap. At the age of 11, I elevated my skills and started freestyling about things I seen or heard. I would only display those skills for my close friends and family because at that age, it wasn't yet a dream to become a big rap star.
Now, what are your thoughts on what you just read?
I can relate to it to a certain extent. Music in my household at an early age too, it was a lot of rap music being played. I could recite it word for word. It just stuck with me. I always remember the music video, just watching the music video. So it just played back in my mind day after day. I kind of developed a love for music too, so yeah, I can relate to that.
And who was it exactly that was playing that rap music back then in the household?
My father, my uncles. Yeah, mainly my father and my uncles. My mama played it from time to time too, but it was mainly my father and my uncles.
Were there artists that they routinely played?
Yeah, I'm from the South, so back then they were playing a lot of Southern artists. I remember 8-Ball, MJG. I remember Master P, all them. Yeah, all the Southern artists from at that time, even from Ghetto Boys, all them too. Yeah, I ain't heard a lot of Ghetto Boys, but I can remember the song from time to time. My uncle tried to play it for me, let me know, hey, this song right here, I used to like this song. So yeah, I can relate that to a certain extent, most definitely.
Did you have a favorite song back then, growing up, when they would play music from time to time?
I ain't gonna lie, make her say, Master P, it stuck with me. I ain't gonna lie to me, that whole little No Limit and Cash Money. Master P, Cash Money, No Limit, when they did their thing, watch their videos, come back, they'll play it back. Yeah, them videos stuck with me.
And what was it about them or their songs in particular that drew you?
Man, I like they had their style. I like how they represent where they were from. It was raw, it was real, it was rugged. You know what I'm saying? And they had their own little slang, their little lingo too. It just kind of captured my attention at the time too. And then then I started listening to the words, and I was like, yeah, okay, them boy got something for real. And then they would consistently drop music, so I was like, yeah, I'm rocking with them.
Now, why did you become a recording artist?
I became a recording artist because of Young Dolph.
Care to elaborate?
I was in the city like Young Dolph. When I first got the Welcome to Dolph World mixtape, you know, like I ain't even know who. I'm like, who this nigga? Who, you feel me? Like it was just a cassette. It was all throughout the city because at that time they were passing it out everywhere. So it's like you couldn't go nowhere without seeing it. So I just seen it laying around. I was at the barbershop. So I picked up them up. I was like, yeah, let me check them out. I put it in. Man, I started rocking with it. I started rocking with it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I did a lot at that point in time in my life. So it's like when I was listening to it, it kind of like stuck with me. It was just different and unique. So I started fucking with it. I ain't gonna lie to you. It just stuck with me.
Do you remember what age that was?
I was I ain't gonna lie, like probably like, I think I was 18. Yeah, I was 18. Yeah, 18, probably around 18 or 17, 16, around that time. I don't remember exactly when it was, but I know I was still in school. Yeah, most definitely.
Care to share the name of the high school you were at the time?
Yeah, I was at Wooddale High School. Wooddale High School now transitioned. Yeah, Wooddale, and I had transferred to South Wayne, so I was at Wooddale at the time. Yeah.
Now, do you know young Dolph personally by any chance?
I don't know Young Dolph personally, but I know a couple of his associates from me just being around in Memphis and moving how I moved around. I bumped into a lot of people like he in a generation older than me, so I'm more so into people that was up under him that he had some of his artists. I'm in like around that time we all in that little time frame. So I never had the chance to run into him, but I ran into a couple of his associates that was in the streets at the point in time when I was in the streets due to me doing the little clothes and everything. So I kind of bumped into them.
What about any of the artists that you mentioned that you grew up listening to? Do you know any of these people personally?
No, I've never met those artists personally. I just know me growing up, their music, just listening to their music and relating to what I was going through at those points in my life. So it's kind of like, it kind of related to what I was going through at that point in time growing up in Memphis. So it's like some of the words they were saying, like for instance, Cash Money and No Limit, like growing up like what they were going through in New Orleans, it kind of related to what I was going through growing up in Memphis. So it's like I started as I got old, I started listening back to the words that were talking about. I'm like, man, this shit just like how we living out here. So I kind of related to it, in a sense. So it's like I never met these people personally, but their music kind of like I can relate to their music. So it's like, yeah, that's how it stuck with me.
And what genre of music do you consider yourself at this point?
Me, I say just hip hop in general because as I began to grow and elevate, I feel like my music will begin to grow and elevate and diversify as well.
When it came to hip hop, was that the first genre of music you ever encountered in your life?
Yeah, I was around. Yeah, that was the first kind of music I ever encountered because I was around people that was in the streets, in the city of Memphis, running around in the city of Memphis at an early age. I was around a lot of people doing a lot of different things. So it's like that's the music that they were playing. So the music just kind of stuck with me. So first music I ever heard, it was rap music, which was hip hop. Yeah, so yeah.
Now, how did you learn how to rap? What was that learning process like for you?
Like I said, I always been around music since I was a kid. So I ain't never take it serious. You know, niggas just be doing what we doing. We just be smoking or whatever case may be at that point in time, just freestyling. We'll just freestyle. From the pad time, from when we were doing whatever we were doing at the time, we just pad time and just freestyle. And I ain't like everybody was like, you can rap, but I ain't never just like I ain't trying to be like I ain't just think about no rap shit like that. I was too busy thinking about some other thing. Rap wasn't on my mind at that point in time. It's just something I did as a hobby just to pad time.
And what were you smoking on back then, in those days?
I was smoking weed. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I was smoking weed.
Now, for clarification, would you say you were self-taught, or did anyone teach you how to rap?
I say my uncle, he was playing around with the rap back in the day. He had wrote a little rap for me. I was at the States Museum in South Memphis. They had a little, I think they had they had a little freestyle, some session where everybody just battle each other. I think it was every Friday. He wrote their rap for me. I took their rap. And I was going against somebody. He was like way older than me. I had spit their rap. My motherfucking crowd went crazy. And so ever since then, I was like, I went back and told my uncle about it. Like, hey, yeah, that shit was hard. That shit was hard. Appreciate it.
Remember what age you were at that time?
I ain't gonna lie, probably like I think I was still in elementary school. I was still in elementary school, probably in transitioning to middle school, probably like 5th or 6th or 7th grade, between that time period of my life.
You care to share what elementary school and middle school you attended back then?
Oh yeah, I went to so many different schools because we moved around a lot. So I went to Goodlet in Balmoral. I went to Goodlet Elementary, which I get where night on I work. In the apartments I grew up in, and my mother wanted, she was tough on us with school and being educated, so she tried to put us in Balmoral, which is on the other side of East Memphis. So I went to Balmoral too. So yeah, but yeah, I started off in Goodlet and I ended off in Balmoral.
And this uncle that you're referencing, on the mother's side of your family or father's side?
That's my mother's younger brother.
And aside from your uncle, Did you ever take music classes in school of any sort?
Nah, I ain't never took music class. I probably played with the drums and now and then. I know for a fact I played with the drums because the majorist and I wanted to get majorist. They were like all of them were the finest girls in school at the time, and everybody was with them. So I'm thinking to myself like, how can I get closer to them? And I end up doing it, and it worked out because I ended up linking up with all the baddest females in school at that time. So. Yeah, that's when I learned like just music in general, but I ain't never took a class for it or nothing like that.
Ever had a music tutor or a vocal coach or things of that nature?
Nah, I ain't never had no music tutor or no vocal coach or nothing like that. Like I said, I just did what I did. I ain't never had none of that.
Do you remember your first song? Very first song.
Yeah, it go like this, yeah. It said, all the girl be on my job. My name is Lil Wayne, but I keep the block hot. It might be me that be flirting with the girl. I'm a 5th grade baller making A for the girl. Yeah, that was my first rap I ever played with. I remember that to this day. It stuck with me.
And was that something you freestyled or wrote at the time, or was that something your uncle did?
It's something that my uncle did. I just kind of like put my little twist to it, yeah.
And do you remember the title of that song?
It wasn't no title. We just something we just put together. Something we just put together.
And what was the reaction to that song back then?
Man, them folk went wild. Everybody in the room, they were like, 5th grade baller making A for the girl. 5th grade baller making A for the girl. I remember like it was yesterday. So that was one of my many little rants and raves I did with the music. I remember like it was yesterday, yeah.
And when it comes to music, when do you feel like you create your best?
Man, when I'm going through situations, because I make my music based on my experiences in life, the things that I go through or the things that I've been around. So it's like I don't do no faking or no fairy tale. That's why I said like some of my music, I made a song about a point in time I was in life. I'm not at that point in time in life, but like I said, I just make music based off what I'm going through in my current situations or things that I've experienced and been through, shit like that.
Now, when you see this book from Boosie Badazz, what does it mean to you?
I ain't gonna lie, like it mean a lot to me to hear somebody else and what they went through and they upcoming with the music. Cause I ain't gonna lie, in the South, at a point in time, my Boosie had that shit on fire. Like I remember that little time where we doing the gangster music and all that. Man, that man had the South on fire. You couldn't even in the city. That's why my city got so much love for him during that time and all that music he dropped during that time. And this shit still stick with a nigga to this day. I remember that era. I caught like the back end of that wave, but that music, that shit they were putting out, that shit was hard back then, no cap.
Are you a book reader?
I used to read books, but I don't read them like that because I be like me going through life and just experiencing life shit. I ain't never had no time to just go back. But I remember at points of time, my mama she'd make a nigga like try to punish a nigga, she'd make a nigga read books and shit, she'd make me read little pages in books and shit. I remember that shit. I remember coming home, nigga, she'd try to punish a nigga, make a nigga read books, so yeah.
What's a book that changed your life?
Book that changed my life, the Bible. The Bible.
And what leads you to that answer?
Cause I thought I ain't gonna lie, like I just read like certain situations, like being in the streets, like I say like Samson in the Delilah, like with these hoes. You know what I'm saying? Like he a player, he knew that, you know what I'm saying? He knew that this a hoe the whole time, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know what I'm saying? He keeping it player, but at the same time, in the midst of him keeping it player, thinking he know the game, he end up get caught slipping. You know what I'm saying? And it caught him, you feel me? And it backfired on him. They can relate to what a nigga go through it in life right now. The whole, me being a player, all players slip up, you feel me? So it's like, I be looking at that shit from a street perspective and my experiences that I went through, like I said, growing up in my life. It kind of like, it relate, yeah, so it's like, it stuck with me. One of the stories that stuck with me.
Do you follow a religion by any chance?
I ain't gonna say I'm a religious person. I just go off energy and just energy, how I feel, stuff like that. Cause it's like I ain't no big religious. Like I said, it just go off how I feel, the vibes of how I feel about a person. Yeah, I can't say just for religious. It's just my vibe, the vibe and the energy I catch from the person, whoever I'm around.
And is this line of thinking something you chose or how you were raised?
It's just something I chose, just growing up in my experiences based on life. Cause like I said, any black person, like I can't speak on any black person, but I know a majority of motherfuckers that grew up, folks had a grandmama or auntie or somebody that was in church. So a nigga went to church, but at the same time I'm looking at it like I said, I got like a lot of my family in the streets, so it's like I kind of like was in both of them, so me looking at it from both perspectives, and as I grew older and started seeing everything as a whole, it just gave me a different outlook on everything. So I'm looking at it, once I seen everything, I just started trying to put my own two and two together, so it's like how I feel and the vibes I catch, but some of it stuck with me, some of it didn't stick with me, so it's like I'm still learning as I go.
Were you raised to follow Christianity?
Oh, most definitely, yeah, like I said, I got some people that was in the church, so they like kind of like had me in the church. But I got my mother's, was heavy in the church, and my daddy was heavy in the streets. So it's kind of like me. Both of them had me at a young age, so it's like I kind of in the best of both worlds.
And did it get any more specific under Christianity for you that you were raised to follow, like a particular branch of Christianity?
Nah, I can't. I don't think, not that I know of. I just like go to church, went to church and we prayed and stuff like that. But it wasn't just no specific hardcore, nothing like that. But I remember a lot coming up with my mama, cause I stayed with my mama and my dad. And when I would go with my mama had would go to church. When I was with my daddy, we just kind of like we would go every now and then. But it's like I said, my daddy was he was heavy in the streets. My mother was heavy in the church, so I had to kind of best of both worlds. And it was just me picking up a little bit from here, picking up a little bit from there, and just applying it to my life as a whole.
Do you know what age your mother or father was when they had you?
Oh yeah, my mama, she had me when she was a senior in high school. My daddy, he was 19. So yeah, I kind of like, we kind of grew up together. And my dad, like, he was in and out because he was in jail. But even in the midst of him being in jail, he still took care of me through a cell. He was heavy in my life. I can't say that. You know what I'm saying? My dad wasn't in my life. He was just a real dude, and he did the best he could. So he was in my life as well. Even in him being behind bars, he still put situations together where I was well taken care of.
So you were birthed to teen parents?
Yeah, most definitely.
Do you have any kids yourself?
I got one son.
Were you a teen parent?
Oh, nah. I had mine later on. I had mine like recently. I just had my first one just recently. Just had my first one recently.
Care to share what age you are now? Or when you had your child?
I was let's say I was in my mid-20s. When I had my child mid-20s, I'm close. I'm in my mid-20s, so it's like 20, 24. Yeah, 24.
So was that something you were conscious of because you were birthed to teen parents? You didn't want to be a teen parent yourself, or is that just what life brought you? A child when you were in your mid-20s?
I ain't gonna lie. That's just what life brought me. I ain't gonna lie. Like I had nigga gonna do a lot of how you gonna do a lot of fucking, have sex and shit. Like I had encounters, but like I said, but this one was like, I guess it just came about. So I mean, me being who I am, I handle my business and take care of my responsibilities. So yeah, we cool.
Care to share the age of your first child?
No, I try to keep him. I try to disclose him, keep him out of the way. I kind of like keep him separate from what I'm doing. So I just kind of I'm very protective of him, because it's like from my situations and me coming up and what I was being exposed to, I try to be very protective of my child.
Now, another recording artist named Cordae is expecting his first baby with Naomi Osaka.
Okay, dig that.
Now, circumstances could be different for everyone. So generally speaking here, but if he's listening or watching this interview right now, anything you would say to a first-time father?
Mine, shit. You learn as you go. You learn from your experiences as you growing up, and you kind of like, you know, where your people went wrong at. It depends on how you grew up. Like I said, my folks was in the street, so it's kind of like my mentality and everything kind of different. So it depends on you and your parents and how you grew up, your background and your upbringing. But most importantly, just look at where your folks, where they went wrong at, and you try to like, you know, try to do your best to do to correct that. And man, you gonna take that shit day by day, cause each and every day you still learn. You ain't never just, damn, I'm used to this shit. Probably when you lay down the road, have some old kids, but your first one, you learning as you go. You just go off your experience growing up and what, you know what I'm saying, you put two and two together and you do your thing with it.
Anything else in regards to having a first child?
Shit, man. Like I said, it's consistently as you go, cause like it put me back in my mind frame with me, cause I'm my parent first child, so it kind of put me in the mind frame of how the things not understanding made me realize the shit that they went through having me. So it kind of, I take that into analysis. When I'm doing what I'm doing with mine, and I be like, man, you become more appreciative of your parents, and you take that shit and you just you try to be the best you could be for young, for real.
Any other words on having kid number one?
Oh shit. You gonna make, I mean, life is like anything. You gonna make some mistakes, but it's like you gotta learn from your mistakes, and you gotta continue. You gotta continue to be the best parents you can be possibly for yours, cause it be different folks in different situations. But it mean like everybody, for the most part, I believe, you know what I'm saying, motherfuckers want to do the best they can for them, for their. So I feel like, yeah, that's how I look at this shit. Like, you gonna make mistakes. It is what it is. You just learn from your mistakes and you correct them. It's your first time doing anything, shit. You ain't gonna be perfect. Even though we all want to be perfect and perfectionists and shit. You just learn as you go.
And just for transparency, do you know Cordae personally or Naomi Osaka?
I've never met them. I ain't never met them. But like I said, I know, I'm very well aware who they are. I'm very well aware who they are. So my most definitely congratulations on your baby. And my shit, take this shit day by day. You feel me? Like, cause each and every day gonna bring a surprise with it. Shit, it's your first one. You feel me?
And also for further transparency, do you know Boosie Badazz personally?
I don't know Boosie Badazz, but I know my shit growing up. Music stuck with me. I could tell his music in a different phase of his life at that point in time. Like you feel me, when you can tell what he at the different stages. And I could tell we was in that late at that stage before he went in, when he was thugging for real. So all that right there, them Boosie from all the way from growing up to that point, all that shit, nigga play all that shit and it stick with me, and that shit stick with a nigga. I still play that shit, so I fuck with that Boosie. Like as you say, as you get older and shit, I'm learning shit as a nigga get older. You go through, you be on different, you elevate and be on different shit. So it's like, you know what I'm saying, I can understand it, I can understand and respect it. That's just life. But at that point in time, that music that he made, that shit, man, not only just me, but man, shit. I know that my whole city down there. That's why we fuck with him so tough. And he can move, you know what I'm saying? Cause the music, you could tell it was real authentic from the heart. And you could tell, nigga tell you, you listen to that shit and go through what you go through, your everyday situation. You can relate to that shit, so I fuck with it.
You ever cried to a Boosie song before?
Nah, I ain't cried to that shit, but I could feel, some of them I could feel it like, shit, he make songs to his mama, he talk about mine. I feel that shit, like his mama T-Lady, called T-Lady and shit, I remember, yeah. And just growing up, him and that brother, like I said, it was just me and my brother. One bedroom, one bed, sleeping on the couch, brother pissing on your leg, you hear me, service sound. Me and my little brother, if I remember, we had service sounds and shit. Like, my life ups and downs. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, my father had street money. It was cool when we had street money. Like when we ain't had street money, ups and during the time, so a nigga had to struggle. So in the midst of me struggling, I can go back some of that shit. I can relate to that shit. I fuck with it.
Big Scarr
Oh yeah, okay.
and Gangsta Boo passed away.
Mm-hmm.
Have you publicly commented on either of these yet?
I haven't publicly commented on them yet. Like I said, it's tragic when they it's those tragic situations and shit. So it's like, but in my mind, cause me growing up in Memphis, I lost a lot of motherfuckers. So it's like I'm numb to death. So it's like in my mind, you don't never like motherfucker don't never die to me. It's like you continuously live on. I had so many people die, especially you growing up in Memphis. You're gonna lose a lot of motherfuckers. So it's like at this point, it's like whether you lose them through the streets, whether you lose them to jail, you're gonna lose a lot of motherfuckers. So it's like in my mind, I still celebrate motherfuckers. I still celebrate people. I still celebrate what they provided. And they left. Those people left. It's unfortunate, but they was able to do something in the time frame, a time period that don't forward. So it's like, you hear me? Some people some people don't never get to put it down like this. So for us to even be mentioning their name, I gotta salute them and get them and pay them their respect, most definitely.
When it comes to dealing with death in your life that you experienced and all those people that have passed away, mentally, has this been something you sought any professional help over?
I ain't gonna lie, nah. I become immune to it and I deal with it. I know, some people might say it's a problem, but I'm used to it, I'm immune to it. And cause you gotta keep going and shit. I gotta keep going, you gotta keep going. Cause shit don't stop, shit keep going.
Be that as it may, do you want any professional help with it? Dealing with past deaths you've experienced in your life personally.
I ain't gonna lie, I ain't even sat down, I ain't gonna lie to you, I never sat down and just thought about that. I ain't never just thought about it. So I don't even know how to answer that question. To be all the way honest with you, I wouldn't even know how to answer that question.
For transparency, did you know Big Scarr or Gangsta Boo personally?
Nah, I ain't know Gangsta Boo personally. And Big Scarr, like I ran to a couple of, like I said, he in my little generation, little group at the time in Memphis, like that's coming up right now, that's doing their thing. So it's like I bumped into a lot of his associates. Me moving around in the city of Memphis. So it's like I eventually would have bumped into him because he was in the streets. He was moving around. He was in the streets. So yeah. But I never got an opportunity to meet him.